Hello, and I'm going to teach you how to solve simultaneous equations. Simultaneous equations is where there are two or more equations that contain two or more unknown quantities. When asked to solve a simultaneous equation, you must find the unknown values that satisfy the given equations. Meaning, whatever values you find for the unknown quantities, so for example, the first question, whatever value you find for x and y, they should satisfy the equation for both equations, meaning that whatever x and y is equal to should also equal, when added together, should also equal what's on the right hand side. So for example, let's say x was 7 and y was -4. Added together, that would equal 3. But then again, when keyed into this equation, it doesn't satisfy 5 because 7 multiplied by 2 is 14. -4 would be 10, it wouldn't be 5. So that's just an example. So when solving simultaneous equations, you want to, because you're working with two unknown quantities, unlike linear equations where you're only trying to work with one unknown quantity and find and solve that. Simultaneous equation, you're trying to work out two unknown quantities. In order to do that, you have to eliminate one of the unknown quantities from the equation. That way you can just work out one of the other unknown quantity, the value for that. And then once you have the value for that one unknown quantity, you can use that same value to work out the other unknown quantity. So let's commence with the first question. Solve the simultaneous equations 2x plus y is equal to 5. X plus y is equal to 3. The first step you want to do, like I mentioned before, is eliminate one of the unknown quantities. The way to eliminate one of the unknown quantities, the coefficients of both unknown quantities in both equations must be the same. Now, if you don't know what a coefficient is the number before the term. So for example, 2x, the coefficient of 2x would be 2, because as you can see, 2 is before the x. So for y, the coefficient's 1, and for x, the coefficient's 1. But they're not written as 1x and 1y. See the 1 as a silent number, like how T is silent in tsunami. So you want to eliminate one of the variables where the coefficients are the same. This question, y, both coefficients for y are the same, so you can eliminate them. The way to eliminate them is by minus them from each other to get 0, cancel each other out. But see, what you do to one term, you must do to all the other terms in that same equation. So the same way how you're going to minus positive y from minus from positive y, so positive y minus positive y, the same way you're going to do 2x minus x, and the same way you're going to do 5 minus 3. So 2x plus y is equal to 5, x plus y is equal to 3, so 2x plus y is equal to 5, I'm going to do minus x plus y is equal to 3. With a bit of space there. So 2x minus x is equal to 2x minus x is equal to x, and positive y minus positive y is equal to 0. So you can just do 0 or just leave it blank like this. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So therefore x is equal to 2. Now you've worked out your first unknown quantity, and you can now use that same unknown quantity to work out the other unknown quantity. So we're going to use what we know x is equal to, which is 2, and we're going to use it to work out what y is equal to now by putting it back into one of the original equations. So we're going to put it back into the second equation. X plus y is equal to 3. We know x is equal to 2. So 2 plus y is equal to 3. You might have already worked out what y is. So y plus 2 is equal to 3. We want to get y on its own so that we know what y is equal to. So to get y on its own, we want to eliminate the positive 2. So we're going to minus 2. Whatever you do on the left hand side, you must also do to the right hand side. So y plus 2 minus 2 and 3 minus 2. So therefore y is equal to 1. So now you've got your unknown quantities, you work them out. X is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. And those are your answers. If you want to check if it satisfies both equations, we already know it satisfies the second equation. If you want to double check if it satisfies the top equation, just to make sure that your answers are correct, we could put these known values in. So 2x plus y is equal to 5. So 2 multiplied by 2, because x is equal to 2, plus y, which is equal to 1, is equal to 5. 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4, plus 1 is equal to 5. 5 is equal to 5. And that's how you know it satisfies the given equation. Because whatever you put into the equation, whatever's on the left-hand side will equal whatever's on the right-hand side. So there you solved your first simultaneous equation. On to our second question. Solve the simultaneous equations 4x plus 4y is equal to 2 and 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. Similar process as we did to the first question. We want to eliminate one of the unknown variables. However, unlike the first question, right now we don't have any unknown variables with the same coefficient as each other. So this means you have to make one of the variables have the same coefficient of each other as each other. Therefore, you have to basically find a factor in both unknown quantities. So let's look at the coefficients for x in both equations, 4 and 3. Now you can see they don't have any common factors. They're not even factors of each other. So you wouldn't bother make the 3x same as 4, and you wouldn't make the 4x the same as the 3x. Let's move on to the second unknown variable, 4y and 2y. You can already see they are factors. So the 2 goes into both the 2y and the 4y. So therefore, as I mentioned before, you want to eliminate one of the unknown variables, but you can't do that if the coefficients are different. So you have to make the coefficients the same. So we're going to make 2y into 4y by multiplying by 2. But as I mentioned before in the previous question, whatever you do to one term of the equation, you must do to the whole term of the equation. So you don't just multiply the 2y by 2, you also multiply the 3x by 2, and you also multiply the 6 by 2. So let's rewrite the question. 4x plus 4y is equal to 2. 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. And we're going to make the second equation, we're going to times the whole of the second equation by 2. So we're going to put in brackets 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. Bracket multiplied by 2. So that's multiplied by the whole equation. You might be able to see multiply by 2. So now we should get 4x plus 4y is equal to 2, and 6x, because 2 multiplied by 3x is equal to 6x, plus 4y, because 2y multiplied by 2 is equal to 4y, and 12 is equal to 12, because 6 multiplied by 2 is equal to 12. So now we can eliminate the 4y because they've got both the same coefficients as each other. But again, as I mentioned with the previous question, whatever you do to one term, you must do to all the terms. The same way you subtract the 4y, positive 4y, minus the other positive 4y in the second equation. The same way you got a minus the 4x, minus the 6x, and the 2 minus 12. We need to do 4x plus 4y is equal to 2 minus 6x plus 4y is equal to 12. So 4x minus 6x is minus 2x. Positive 4y minus positive 4y is equal to 0, so you can leave that blank. 2 minus 12 is equal to minus 10. We want to work out what x is. So we want to get x on its own. So we're going to divide minus 2x by divided by minus 2 to get x on its own. And whatever you do to the left hand side, you must also do to the right hand side. So you not only minus 2x, and you not only divide minus 2x by minus 2 to get x on its own, you also divide the minus 10 divided by minus 2. Therefore, x is equal to 5, because minus 10 divided by minus 2 is equal to 5. So now you've worked out your x value. You can key it into either of the equations, whether it's 4x plus 4y is equal to 2 or 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. Let's key it back into the first equation. So 4x plus 4y is equal to 2. We know what x is now. So 4 multiplied by x, which is 5, plus 4y is equal to 2. So 4 multiplied by 5 is equal to 20. 20 plus 4y is equal to 2. We want to get y on its own, but we can't do that yet. We need to minus 20. So let's just rewrite it like this. And we're going to minus it by 20. And whatever you do to the left hand side, you must also do to the right hand side. So positive 20 minus 20, and 2 minus 20. Therefore, 4y is equal to minus 18. And you want to get y on its own. So you want to divide. To get y on its own, you do 4y divided by 4. And minus 18 divided by 4 as well. You can use a calculator for this. Therefore, y is equal to minus 4.5. So you worked out your x value and worked out your y value. And if you're not convinced that your x and your y values are correct, you can key into the second equation and see if the values satisfy that equation. I'm not going to do it, but you can see it for yourself in your own time. And that's how you work out the second simultaneous equation. And let's move on to the final question. Let's move on to our final question. Here is a real life problem that involves simultaneous equations. Rob buys 2 cups of coffee. and 3 slices of toast for £9. Ian buys 4 cups of coffee and 1 slice of toast from the same cafe for £8. Find out how much 1 cup of coffee and 1 slice of toast each cost. So this is the same as asking to solve a simultaneous equation. You just have to be able to interpret a question like this and pick out the necessary information. So the unknown variables, what you need to spot are the cup of coffee and the slice of toast. So you can put 1 cup of coffee is equal to X and 1 slice of toast is equal to Y. Now you know this information, you can interpret now, use it to write down what Rob got and write it down in a simultaneous equation. So Rob buys 2 cups of coffee and 3 slices of toast for £9. So therefore, that will be written as 2x plus 3y is equal to £9. Ian buys 4 cups of coffee and 1 slice of toast for £8. So that would be 4x plus y, same as 1y, is equal to £8. And as you can see, just from interpreting the question, you have your very own simultaneous equation you need to solve. So we can proceed like how we proceeded with the first 2 questions and work out what x and y is. So again, we first try to eliminate one of the unknown quantities, the unknown variables, by making the variables the same coefficient. So luckily, actually, both unknown variables have factors that can go into each other. So 2 can go into 4x and y, 1, can go into 3. So you can transform the 2x into 4x by multiplying that whole equation by 2. But you can also transform this into 1y into 3y by multiplying this whole equation by 3. So you can pick either way, whatever route you decide to go down, you should be able to still get the same values for x as you would for y, whatever route you go down. And it should be able to satisfy for both equations. So I'm going to transform the first equation. So I'm going to make 2x the same as 4x by multiplying 2x by 2. But as I mentioned in the previous question, whatever you do to one term, you must do to all of the other terms in the equation. So the same way I multiply 2x by 2, the same way I have to multiply 3y by 2, the same way I have to multiply 9 by 2. So we're going to do 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. X is, multiplied by 2. You can see it's multiplied by 2. 4x plus y, still written in its little baby writing. 4x plus y is equal to 8. So 2x multiplied by 2, 4x, 3y multiplied by 2, 6y, 9 multiplied by 2, 18. And 4x plus y is equal to 8. So now we can eliminate the 4x by minus them from each other. But what you do to one term, you must do to all the other terms, as I've mentioned in both questions. So 6y 18 minus 4y plus y. So 4x minus 4x is 0, eliminated. 6y, positive 6y minus positive y is equal to 5y. 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. So now we've got 5y equals 10. We want to find out what y is equal to. So we want to get y on its own. Therefore, we do 5y divided by 5 to get y on its own. But whatever you do to the left-hand side, you must also do to the right-hand side. So the same way we do 5y divided by 5, the same way we do 10 divided by 5. And now you've got y is equal to 2. So now you've worked out what y is equal to. You've worked out what one slice of toast is. So therefore, one slice of toast will be equal to £2 because y is equal to 2. It was quite expensive for a slice of toast. You could buy a pack of loaf of bread for £1. But I digress. So now we can use what we know for y to work out what x is. So we can put it back into the original, either original equations. We can put it back into, let's put it back into the second equation. 4x plus y is equal to 8. So 4x plus 2 is equal to 8. We want to get x on its own. So first we move the positive 2. We eliminate it. So we do 4x positive 2 minus 2. And what we do to the left-hand side, you do to the right-hand side. So x minus 2. Therefore, 4x is equal to 6. But we still want to get x on its own. So we want to divide. We're going to divide 4x by 4. And you know the process. Whatever you do to the left-hand side, I don't need to say it again. You do to the right-hand side. Well, I said it again. For x divided by 4 is equal to 6 divided by 4. Therefore, x is equal to 1.5. Therefore, 1 cup of coffee is equal to £1.50. So, cup of coffee is cheaper than a slice of toast. Wonder what cafe this is. So now you've worked out your costs for your unknown variables. So you've worked out how much a slice of toast is, which is £2. One slice of toast is £2. And 1 cup of coffee is £1.50. And that's your answer. If you want to check if it satisfies both equations, you can put it back into the second equation and you should get the same answer, the left hand side. So let's put it in. 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. So x is equal to 1.5. So 2 multiplied by 1.5 plus 3y, which is with 2, and y is equal to 2. So 3 multiplied by 2. So 2 multiplied by 1.5 is 3. 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6. You know, 3 plus 6 is equal to 9. So therefore, those answers are correct. your slice of toast is £2 and your cup of coffee is £1.50. So that's how you solve simultaneous equations. Thank you for listening and goodbye.